1 a.m. I fell asleep. 8:45 I awoke, and 9 a.m. I saw the light. A magnificent Legend trailer, one for the ages, where everybody from, like I said, age 1 to 101, maybe not for the 102-year-olds, was flying higher than the Angels' rotation's ERA is about to become tomorrow throughout the rest of the regular season. We saw 4 brand new Legend reveals, really good ones, on top of the ones that we've already seen. Today, we have made mock-up cards for each and every single Legend to this point on how I think their best cards are going to look and where I think they're going to fit in to Diamond Dynasty and MLB The Show 21. Video took a substantial amount of time. If, I'm measuring correctly, about 6-7 hours to do this, so make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Obviously, getting really close to MLB 21. If we could hit 50,000 by then, oh baby, wouldn't that be fucking sweet? But that being said, let's go ahead and get into this one. Starting off with Kirby Thunder Thighs Puckett. This boy was thick. I'm not talking Kardashian plastic. This is man-made. You can't make this at a lab. Very tragic end to his career. He ended up suffering from glaucoma, which he essentially woke up and couldn't see out of one eye, so he was essentially forced to retire. I think he's really underrated. I really do. These stats, I took a look at their prime and their overall career splits to, kind of make what I think is likely to happen. Kirby Puckett, I'm damn shamed of everybody that said, oh, mid. Oh, I'm not going to use this card. Look at him. 109, 118 contact, I think is real fair. 91, 102 power. Not going to blow you away, but it's plenty enough to hit home runs. He won 6 gold gloves. I'll be honest, looking into the advanced metrics, he wasn't that good of a defender. Kind of the Jeter effect, won some hardware, but wasn't actually that great of a defender. Still, there's no way he would get anything less than gold. Prestigiable up to diamond, I would think. Then 67 speed. I think this is really fair for Kirby Puckett, and I think this would be a really great card. Only problem I can kind of see is he's 5'8". Some people love the shorter guys. Some people, that's not really their fetish. Talking about MLB The Show, of course. Needless to say, very excited about Mr. Puckett, and needless to say, very excited to bring you guys this sponsor from FanDuel. FanDuel Daily Fantasy Sports have quickly become one of my favorite ways to both play fantasy sports and also interact and feel more immersed with the sports that I'm watching. Instead of drafting just once at the beginning of the season, I get to draft as much as I want. I can have a draft each and every day, competing with friends and competing for cash prizes. FanDuel features a ton of contests and a wide array of sports. The NBA has been one that I've been doing a lot recently. They also have the NHL, the MLB, which is going to be a favorite of mine once the season starts up. And they also have NASCAR, MMA, a lot of different sports. Guaranteed, you're going to find a contest that you are going to like. But through my time on FanDuel so far, my favorite thing about it is having both free contests and paid contests. I think the free contests are a great place to get started. You can learn the basics, the fundamentals on how to build your daily fantasy sports lineup without the pressure of, losing money potentially when you're just kind of learning, feeling out how the application works. So you get that experience, you get that knowledge on how the daily fantasy sports system works, and once you're feeling comfortable enough, you can go ahead and enter the paid contest with a chance to win cash prizes. Something else great about FanDuel, especially for me, my favorite contests, the NBA ones that I play, are typically $2-3 for entry, so you're really not risking too much of the grand scheme of things. I believe it still prioritizes the fun learning experience of daily fantasy sports and still having that competitive edge with a chance of winning some big cash prizes. I love fantasy sports. I believe it was Shrek that once said, sports have layers in the enjoyment factor, and I definitely think FanDuel Daily Fantasy Sports adds another layer. I have Devin Booker on my fantasy lineup, gonna keep an extra eye on him, and I'm really gonna pump my fist if I see him, hit a 3. So if you guys would like to download FanDuel, make sure to go down below in the description and download my special link. And if you guys do this right now, you can actually have a free NBA contest entry. I've been thoroughly enjoying playing FanDuel Daily Fantasy, and I hope you guys give it a shot as well. Special thanks once again to FanDuel for sponsoring this video. Here we have Alfonso Soriano. Thing I'll always remember about him, he'll miss Homer, but damn sure, either air or cowhide is really getting bruised up. This card, all these are from different Instagram creators. Some of them are myself, such as the Kirby Puckett back there. I don't think his best card would be with the Nationals. His best years with the Nationals, but he only played there for one, so we'll see. Either way, Soriano would be an interesting card. I gave him 87, 89 contact, 94, 102 power. Again, I looked at the Nationals year and two of his other best years alongside his career splits. Always tough to figure out exactly what card series they're going to give these guys, and maybe we're going to see new card series. Free swinging, I think if they were to make a National-centric card, it would be a little bit better power than I gave him credit for right here, but just kind of as a general consensus, I think this is a pretty solid card. I'll talk about it with Grady Seismore a little bit later on in this video. You know, as long as they release these cards, the non-99s, earlier on in the year so we can actually use them when there's some of the best cards in the game, it'll be cool. Soriano's going to be a beast then. Talk about Kirby Puckett's sad retirement. Prince Fielder's right there with him. His was neck issues. You know, again, if you were to play with these injuries, which the doctors really wouldn't even have let him, could have had serious traumatic issues far beyond baseball sustained injury. You know, could be paralyzed at that point. Interesting fact about Fielder, due to his career being ended short, he actually ended up with the same amount of home runs as his dad, Cecil. I'll never forget that interesting little tidbit. If that's ever a trivia night fact, you best believe you want me on your team. Prince Fielder would be a cool card. Lefties, I probably didn't give him as much credit as he would get in a card. I think he would have mid-90s, maybe break 100, but he was never a killer against lefties, either contact or slugging percentage-wise. Fielding, really shouldn't have to explain myself there. Speed, really shouldn't have to explain myself there. He has a Oompa Loompa build archetype going on, which I can make that joke. I had the same build, you know, short and pudgy. You know, at least Fielder used it. When I was short and pudgy, I was like Prince Fielder, end of his career, just a contact, a slap hitter. I didn't hit big bombs like Fielder did at his prime. On to the next, Soriano, we already saw him. Roberto Clemente, Mr. 3000, hell of a player, even better of a man. Very excited to see him into the game, and this is my pick for the National League collection. I think stats pretty fair. 120, 112 contact, 90, 104 power respectively. Good vision. He's going to have nearly maxed out defensive ratings. He's going to be really good on that front, and pretty good speed as well. He's definitely going to be good. I don't think he's going to be the MLB collection. That's likely going to be somewhere I'm going to see later on in this video. But here we have Fernando Mania. Self-admittedly, dumb of me to think this was Koufax in the trailer. My eyes were hardly functioning. You have to realize that's part of the issue. Also, I wasn't alive at that point. So, you know, so take your sharpest chef's knife and cut me off a piece of slack, why don't you? Valenzuela, he's going to have nearly maxed out stuff as far as stamina goes through a lot of complete games, a lot of shutouts too. Hits per 9, 113, I think is pretty good. K per 9, he didn't really ever strike out that many. He did lead the league or led the NL in strikeouts at his Cy Young year in 81. However, he only had 180 at that point, which isn't a tremendous amount. I think 99 is fair. He did walk a lot of guys. He also led the league in walks, a fair number. So 71, I think, is going to be pretty accurate. As far as the pitches go, it's always hard to find exactly what they threw. I just kind of pieced together as best as I could do. Four-seam, screwball, cutter, curveball, and sinker. So imagine kind of a lefty Oral Hershiser is maybe what you could see with Fernando Valenzuela, except take some of that excess BB9 and control Hershiser has and stuff that into hits per 9, and you're probably going to have Valenzuela right there. Moving on to Hank Henry Aaron, Hammerin' Hank. Rest in peace to him, alongside a lot of other legends, Tom Seaver, Lou Brock. Too many legends passed away in 2020, early part of 2021 so far. Hank Aaron was against artificial ingredients entering his body before it was cool. The untampered home run king, I like to call him. Love Barry Bonds, but, you know, let's call it like it is. Hank Aaron would be amazing in the game, of course, and I think these stats are pretty fair. Defense, Hard for me to find exactly what they would give him. I could see him having 80 fielding, but not much more than that. 84 arm, I think, is pretty realistic. 125, 119 splits against lefties. 114, 111 against right-handers with 100 vision. I think this is a tremendous offensive card, of course. Can play first base as well. And with rumors that we might lose Ted Williams this year, this is going to be a better Ted Williams, better fielder, and I've just never really enjoyed Ted Williams' card as much as I think I might, but here's a card I'm going to enjoy a good deal. Good lord. I've said it a lot of times before, my favorite player of all time besides, my Rays fandom, Pedro Martinez. When you look at the numbers he put up, it is frankly fucking absurd. He had, 1 year, a 0.73 whip. How is that even possible? If not for, again, tainted numbers being Roger Clemens, he would have had 4 consecutive Cy Young Award seasons. Jesus. I gave him 116 stamina. He's probably going to have the best per nines a pitcher's ever had in Diamond Dynasty, I think is fair to say, because he was good at everything. He might even have maxed out K9 alongside his maxed out Hit 9 I gave him here. He's going to have BB9 into the hundreds. The pitches I gave him here, a 4-seam circle changeup, curveball, cutter, and sinker. If he has those, good lord, watch out. This is not going to be a card you're probably going to want to face. And finally, end things out with Tampa Bay Rays legend Grady Seismore, but we have a card of him with his lesser-known Cleveland baseball team here. Grady Seismore would be fun. Looking at the numbers, his card is going to be underwhelming. I think this is realistic. 92, 105 splits against righties. Maybe they could boost that a little bit more. That's technically what he should have, but I could definitely see them, inching it upwards a little bit. 75, 69. He was not a good left-handed hitter outside of 1 season, really. Cut short of prime, man. Sad to see Grady Seismore, kind of think of David Wright, another guy who really lost a good portion of his career. And Grady Seismore completely derailed off the progression he was making. Fast as hell, he's going to have that. 2 gold gloves, 83 fielding. I gave him, again, gold glove doesn't always mean you're the best fielder, especially kind of back then. Now they do a better job at it. Just like Soriano, as long as they release this card towards the beginning of the year, it's going to be cool. And it's going to be a lot better than having it be, I don't know, a World Series reward in June. So if they are some of the first bosses that we see, that would be really cool. These are the best versions of all these cards, I do believe. I don't think we're going to get a 99 Seismore Soriano. I think we're going to get like a 97 at max for both of them. But as long as they put them in the right spots, they're definitely going to be good cards. So there we go. That is all, I believe, 8 to this point legends that we've seen. Those are little mocks for all of them. Thanks to all the creators that made the cards. Gomer Simpson, props to you for making 2 of them. 2 years ago. That's why they had the old style. Let me know if these were the attributes, which cards would you want the most, and what legends are you looking forward to? We have rumors of Negro League players coming potentially, and Derek Jeter, of course, is hot on the trail. We're going to have to see if we see him on 415. So if you guys enjoyed this one, leave a like down below. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a good day. There comes out. Yeet.